And every American that is supporting Trump right now needs to understand that they are absolutely supporting fascism.
What started as a routine Senate hearing quickly turned into a full-blown interrogation. Senator John Kennedy wasn't just asking questions. He was tearing down a wall of silence. At the center of it all, a Democrat general caught flat-footed, scrambling to explain past comments, political loyalty, and his stance on one of the biggest issues facing the country, the border. And Kennedy, he didn't blink. From the very first question, the senator made it clear this wasn't going to be polite small talk.
Yes, you believe in open borders, don't you?
I believe in the rule of law, sir.
Right. And it makes you angry that President Trump does not believe in open borders, doesn't it? And it makes you angry that most Americans don't believe in open borders, doesn't it? You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
I believe so, yes.
You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you, General?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this mass deportation. Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
This was a reckoning. The general tried to play it safe, said he believed in the rule of law, tried to dodge the immigration debate. But Kennedy wasn't buying it. He pushed harder, pointing out the growing disconnect between officials in D.C. and the American people. Because let's be honest, most Americans aren't asking for open borders. They're demanding order, safety, control. But somehow, those in charge keep acting like that's a controversial opinion. And if you're wondering where this general really stands, Kennedy brought the receipts. Old interviews, harsh criticisms of President Trump, even flat-out name-calling of conservatives, all resurfaced in that hearing. The moment Kennedy read those past remarks out loud, the air got thick. The general shifted, the tone changed, and suddenly it wasn't about national security anymore. It was about credibility.
Yes, you believe in open borders, don't you?
I believe in the rule of law, sir.
Right. And it makes you angry that President Trump does not believe in open borders, doesn't it?
Senator, I'm not here to discuss immigration policy. I'm here to discuss whether or not we use the military to enforce it.
And it makes you angry that most Americans don't believe in open borders, doesn't it?
Not in the slightest, sir. Again, I am not here to discuss the immigration policy.
Yeah. Duty, honor, respect, you talked about that.
Yes,
in
Senator.
your opening statement. On October 14th of this year, you went on CNN. I want to read you what you said.
Now pause right here. If you're watching this and thinking, why haven't I heard this on the news? That's not a coincidence. Mainstream outlets won't touch moments like this, but we will. So if you care about holding power to account, make sure you're subscribed. We bring you what they won't. Back to the hearing. As Kennedy kept pressing, the general tried every trick in the book. Deflection, outrage, hollow appeals to his record.
Make sure I'm accurate. Here's what you said. President Trump is not like any sane leader. I'm very proud of General Milley for saying that President Trump is a total fascist. To Bob Woodward. If he, as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, is calling the president a fascist, I'm so proud of him for breaking that barrier. The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is. The reality is that they are, in fact, fascists themselves. Did I read that accurately?
What is the Trump campaign and what is President Trump? He's authoritarian. It's nationalistic. It's far right. It's intolerant of dissent. It has a contempt for the rule of law. It requires direct obedience to a powerful leader, and it requires the supremacy of one ethnic group. Well, I just gave you the definition of what fascism is.
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspectives with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this mass deportation.
And that's what hurts so much personally, is the average American who is a Trump supporter. And every American that is supporting Trump right now needs to understand that they are absolutely supporting fascism if they vote for Trump.
But Kennedy didn't flinch. He called out the contradictions, the hypocrisy, and the arrogance that so many Americans are sick of seeing from their leaders. And here's the kicker. When Kennedy asked if the general thought he was smarter or more virtuous than the average American, the general didn't say no. He got offended. That alone says everything. Because if you're truly serving the country, you shouldn't be afraid of scrutiny. You shouldn't crumble when confronted with your own words. And you shouldn't act like questioning policy is a personal attack.
You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you, General?
Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
Duty, honor, and respect. You talked about that in your opening statement, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moran said, I wrote down her words. She said, by their actions, you know what someone's character is like. You agree with that?
Senator, for 35 years, I served my country with absolute honor and distinction, and I will continue to do so.
You agree with what Ms. Moran said?
Of course.
Mr.
Kennedy's message was clear. Border security isn't some fringe issue. It's a crisis. And hiding behind talking points won't cut it anymore. This wasn't just a political takedown. It was a warning to every official who thinks their past won't catch up with them, to every bureaucrat who thinks the American people are too distracted to notice, to every leader who talks about duty and honor but forgets what those words actually mean. Kennedy held up a mirror, and what we saw wasn't pretty. But here's the question. What do you see? Is this just another political spectacle? Or are we finally seeing a shift where the truth gets a seat at the table again? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you believe more people need to hear what's really going on behind those closed doors, hit that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss the next bombshell. Because we're just getting started. See you in the next one.